Hi. Who wants to hear a story? I've got a good one. Story about a king. King Alfred and the cakes. King Alfred was one of the greatest kings of all time of England. In England, many years ago, there ruled a king named Alfred, a wise and just man, one of the best kings England ever had. Even today, centuries later, he's known as Alfred the Great. The days of Alfred's rule were not easy ones in England. The country was invaded by fierce Danes who had come from across the sea. There were so many Danish invaders that they were so strong and bold that for a long time they won almost every battle. If they kept on winning, they would soon be masters of the whole country. At last, after so many struggles, King Alfred's English army was broken and scattered. Every man had to save himself the best way he could, including King Alfred. He disguised himself as a shepherd and fled alone through the woods and swamps. After several days of wandering, he came to a hut of a woodcutter. Tired and hungry, he knocked on the door and begged the woodcutter's wife to give him something to eat and a place to sleep. The woman looked with pity at the ragged fellow. She had no idea who he really was. "Come in," she said. "I'll give you some supper if you will watch these cakes I'm baking on the hearth. I want to go out and milk the cow. Watch them carefully. Make sure they don't burn while I'm gone." Alfred thanked her politely and sat down beside the fire. He tried to pay attention to the cakes, but soon all his troubles filled his mind. How was he going to get his army together? And even if he did, how was he going to prepare to face the Danes? How could he possibly drive such a strong and fierce invaders out of England? The more he thought, the more hopeless his future seemed. And as he began to believe there was no use in continuing the fight, Alfred saw only his problems. He forgot he was in the woodcutter's hut. He forgot all about his hunger, and he forgot all about the cakes. In a while, the woman came back. She found her hut filled with smoke and her cakes burnt to a crisp. And there was Alfred sitting beside the hearth, gazing into the flames. He had never even noticed that the cakes were burning. "You lazy, good-for-nothing fellow," the woman said. "Look what you've done. You want something to eat, but you don't want to work for it. Now none of us will have any supper." Alfred only hung his head in shame. Just then the woodcutter came home. As soon as he walked through the door, he recognized the stranger sitting at his hearth. "Be quiet," he told his wife. "Don't you realize who you're scolding? This is our noble ruler. This is King Alfred himself." Oh, the woman was horrified. She ran to the king's side and fell to her knees. She begged him forgive her for speaking so harshly. But wise King Alfred asked her to rise. He said, "You were right to scold me. I told you I'd watch the cakes and then I let them burn. I deserve what you said. Anyone who accepts a duty, whether it be large or small, should perform it faithfully. I have failed this time, but it will not happen again. My duty as king awaits me." The story does not tell us if King Alfred had anything to eat that night, but it was not many days before he had gathered his men together again, and he soon drove the Danes out of England. Oh, to know, to be diligent in doing the little tasks that we have before us, because the little tasks lead to being diligent in all that we do. I enjoyed that story. I hope you did. Well, next time we'll have another. Have a good day and be good.